Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And making headlines this morning, fire breaks out at a local restaurant overnight. We'll have damage details.
With more than 5,000 deaths from COVID-19 around the country, President Trump is striking a grim tone. I'm Inez de la Cuetara in Washington, and I'll have all the details coming up.
And live cam giving us a look outside. 64 degrees out there. Mike is standing by with your forecast, and I think it's got some rain in it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting forecast. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, April 2nd.
Thanks for being with us this morning. Yesterday was beautiful.
Oh, it was gorgeous. Had the windows open most of the day.
Yeah, I went for a run outside. It was so nice. A little windy, but it was nice. I'm still feeling a little of the oak, though.
Yeah, me too.
It actually went up yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to show you that in just a second.
That would explain it. How's the rain chances still looking?
Good. Remember yesterday, though, we were about 52 at this time.
It's a lot warmer.
Yeah, it's warmer as expected, a little more humidity. May see a little bit of drizzle around the area this morning. We're not seeing anything on radar as of yet, but there could be some mist, a little sprinkle out there, and then we'll start to see some showers developing as the morning rolls on and going into this afternoon. So 64 in town. Everybody is, again, a good 10, almost 15 degrees above. We had some 40s yesterday. Remember up around Bernie, it was down in the mid 40s at this time. So almost 15 degrees warmer. Of course, more humidity out there. And talking about the oak, on the reading the day before, it had dropped down to about 3,700, and then it did go up yesterday. So we're still dealing with some of this oak. You can see it on your car as well. Mold and everything else on the low side, although I think mold's probably going to be going up in the next few days, given the fact we have a lot more moisture in the forecast. 69 at noon and 72 for a high temperature today. So we are going to be much lower than yesterday. We were in the upper 70s again. We will have showers developing and even a couple of thunderstorms out there into tonight. And then tomorrow, that's the day we're kind of under the gun because there is an okay chance for some of those storms to become strong, potentially severe. And then we're going to keep some rain around for a pretty good long while, at least a chance for some rain. Details on that coming up. Time saver traffic right now. Here is Officer Nick Solis. Haven't seen you in a long time, Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. It's good to see you too. All right. Well, we have a lot of construction out there. No accidents, but we do have some construction southbound 281 at San Pedro Avenue. Let's try to get the TransGuide footage here. Oh man, let me see what's going on. All right. Let's see. Let me exit out so I can show you at least the TransGuide to see some. There we go. Okay, all right. So first we have some right here, 281 San Pedro. You're gonna go be southbound 281. That exit to San Pedro Avenue is blocked off right now. We have 151 and 410. That's gonna be have some construction, and 10 at Frio right here. Also, that's going to be the southbound lanes of I-10. Looks like we have a traffic convoy there. Looks like they're moving out of the way. Hopefully that gets cleared up soon. Sorry about that. Mark Leslie, back to you.
This morning, Mayor Ron Nierenberg set to lead a moment of silence at 9:20 this morning. The bells at San Fernando Cathedral are expected to ring for a full minute to honor those killed and still fighting their own cases of COVID-19.
Meanwhile, the overall cases of COVID-19 have risen, but the number of deaths remain the same, with the city now confirming the 2 additional positive cases from a local nursing home. There are now 231 cases in our area. That's an increase of 24 cases since the last update. Deaths related to the disease continue to stand at 9.
Here's a look at how the numbers break down. Mayor Nierenberg says nearly 3,000 people have been tested, but so far did not release an exact number. Of those cases, we know 231 are positive, 72 of which has resulted in hospitalizations. 45 of all 229 cases made a full recovery.
People in Laredo are now required to cover their mouth and nose while out in public or face a $1,000 fine. This requirement is not in San Antonio yet, but Mayor Ron Nierenberg says that he is discussing the possibility. How effective are hand-sewn masks? The chief nurse at University Health System says while handmade masks are not ideal for medical professionals, people should still consider wearing them. Officials say healthcare workers would only use them when facing a shortage.
Meanwhile, more states now heeding the call to flatten the curve after most are now imposing stay-at-home restrictions.
This is the president warns America to prepare for a very painful few weeks. ABC's Inez de la Cuetara is in Washington with the latest.
With more than 5,000 deaths now reported from COVID-19 across the country, President Trump striking a grim tone.
Difficult days are ahead for our nation. We're going to have a couple of weeks starting pretty much now, but especially a few days from now, that are going to be horrific.
and warning the national stockpile of personal protective gear for healthcare workers is nearly depleted.
It is, because we're sending it directly to hospitals. We don't want it to come to the stockpile because then we have to take it.
The New York Times reporting the contract to maintain the government's stockpile lapsed last summer. A dispute meant that a new firm did not begin its work until January. The virus is expected to kill tens of thousands of Americans. Florida, Georgia, and Mississippi joining at least 42 other states ordering residents to stay at home. The president now facing growing calls to issue similar nationwide restrictions.
There are some states that are different. There are some states that don't have much of a problem.
Across the country, field hospitals going up from Massachusetts to Illinois. A doctor taking ABC News inside New York's Mount Sinai Queens Hospital now pushed to the brink.
All these patients here sitting out in the hallways because we are full.
In Los Angeles, Mayor Eric Garcetti announcing the city is recommending citizens wear face masks while in public, as Dr. Fauci weighs in on how long social distancing could last.
When it goes down to essentially no new cases, no deaths at a period of time.
Vice President Mike Pence says he expects the worst of the pandemic to be over by Memorial Day, which is still about 2 months away. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
Now to the latest on a shooting involving an off-duty Universal City police officer. Police say the officer shot 2 teens after they pointed a gun at him while he caught them trying to break into cars at an apartment complex. Happened to vehicles at the Landera Apartments a little after 9 o'clock last night. San Antonio police say there were a total of 5 teens involved. Police say when the officer approached them and asked if they needed help, the teens pointed a gun at him. Officials say the officer ducked and fired his gun at the teens, hitting 2. One of the teens who was shot stayed at the scene and was taken to a hospital. The other teenager shot and got away in a vehicle. Their injuries are not life-threatening. The other 3 were not hurt. They were later taken into custody at a nearby apartment complex.
Well, new this morning, San Antonio firefighters were called out to a fire at a restaurant late last night. It happened in the 1400 block of Somerset Road on the city's southwest side just before 11 p.m. Fire incident commander says when firefighters arrived, they found the restaurant's owner trying to put out the kitchen fire himself. Firefighters managed to knock it out quickly. No injuries were reported. We're told that food inspectors will be investigating the incident as well.
437, 64 degrees.
Still ahead, the CDC might soon recommend everyone be required to wear a non-medical mask when in public. More on what you need to know.
The next details on a big police chase that ended in a horrific crash and destroyed the suspect's getaway vehicle.
And live cam giving us a peek outside as we wait on the rain. The forecast is coming up.
In your morning headlines, the nation's top coronavirus expert has had to beef up security after receiving death threats. A source says Dr. Anthony Fauci has personal security now from law enforcement at all times, including at home. Fauci did not answer a question about threats against him or his detail when asked during the White House Coronavirus Task Force briefing yesterday. Fauci's profile has grown during the pandemic. He's one of the health advisors to encourage President Trump to keep the country locked down as much as possible to curb the spread.
The demand for fuel is quickly dropping due to the pandemic, and that's created an unexpected problem for oil companies. Oil producers are worried that the world may be running out of places to store the ever-growing supply. According to Goldman Sachs, storage facilities, refineries, and pipelines could eventually reach capacity. JBC Energy says that some 6 million barrels per day of homeless crude, as they call it, might have nowhere to go in April. That number could rise to 7 million barrels in May. One option could be to load all that extra crude onto ships, but experts warn even that would not absorb the surplus.
I haven't seen the video yet, but I hear it's amazing. Here it is. 2 carjacking suspects in custody after a heart-stopping chase near Detroit. They were caught on camera speeding at more than 100 miles an hour as they tried to shake off police before a horrific crash. We're watching this go around other vehicles.
Wow.
Driver loses control right here.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
Police say at some point the driver was going at least 115 miles an hour. During the crash, the driver somehow managed not to hit anybody else, but the vehicle was destroyed.
Yeah, obviously you can see that. Speaking of crashes, yesterday during the 9 a.m., I showed you a headline I found in Dallas of an 18-wheeler carrying toilet paper that crashed, caught fire, everything burned. Has since found out it was not an April Fool's joke. It really happened. And that toilet paper, It was headed to San Antonio.
Yeah, it's a pretty tragic story yesterday of all things. 442, 64 degrees.
Still ahead, you might soon be required to wear a face mask in public, as we talked about. So more on what the CDC is considering when it comes to stopping the spread of the coronavirus.
And next morning, a group of San Antonio area firefighters now returning from Paraguay after spending 14 days in quarantine.
Welcome back, everybody. It's 4:45. Well, the CDC is considering recommending everyone wear a non-medical mask in public. But what's the most effective face covering method? ABC's Becky Worley has details in your GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, call it Face Coverings 101.
At this point, there really seems to be no question that everybody should be wearing a mask to protect themselves and, more importantly, to protect their community. When you're talking, bits of saliva come out of your mouth. You don't even see them.
With evolving guidance on whether everyday Americans should cover their faces in public, and with no one wanting to take real masks out of the hands of medical professionals, it's time to get crafty.
You can get an old t-shirt and cut it. You can get, actually an old sheet is great because it's a nice fine weave cotton.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll walk you through all the do's and don'ts of DIY face coverings. Plus, Good Morning America has all the financial advice you need with Shark Tank's Mark Cuban and Barbara Corcoran live. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland.
A group of San Antonio firefighters returning from Paraguay say they spent 14 days quarantined before heading back to work.
The firefighters from the city of Chavano Park were in the South American country to train crews there.
Tiffany Huertas tells us about their experience and how they say life has changed since coming home.
Day 14 was great when I took my temperature and I didn't have a fever and I didn't have a cough or no shortness of breath, so it was a good feeling.
One former and 3 current Chavano Park firefighters recently returned to Texas. The group had traveled on March 8th to Paraguay to help train firefighters.
We had about 200 pounds of equipment that we were able to take that we couldn't use here anymore at the fire department.
Captain paramedic Ivan Hernandez and firefighter paramedic Samuel McKinnon say before they left to Paraguay, they checked on the CDC and the U.S. Embassy's websites.
There were cases in Argentina, there were cases in Brazil, but there are no confirmed cases in Paraguay.
There are now dozens of COVID-19 cases in the South American country. When the team returned home on March 17th, Hernandez says they went through a 14-day quarantine period. The 3 Chavano Park firefighters returned to work this week.
We didn't have any symptoms, which is great, and we currently feel fine. So, and by getting monitored every day, that's actually a bonus for us as well.
Anyone who enters a fire station gets their temperature checked and gets screened for COVID-19 symptoms.
So we were eager to come back, and yesterday was a great day, putting our boots on the ground and helping out as much as we could.
For the 9, Tiffany Huertas.
448.
Let's check the roadways and see how traffic is looking. Nick, what's happening?
Still no accidents, but we still have the construction here. San Pedro Avenue at southbound US Highway 281. The San Pedro exit is still closed. Keep that in mind if you are heading that way. Here it is. This is 10 and Frio. There, let's show you there, 281 in San Pedro. So if you're going southbound 281 right there, you can't exit the San Pedro Avenue exit. Then we got construction still at 151 and 410. So watch out there. All right, let's take a look at 35 in Benzingelman. That's looking pretty good. 35 and 410 looking a little bit better. 37 at Jones on the southeast side. Not a car on the roadway. And here we go. We have 281 and 410 looking very good.
Thank you, Nick. Mike joins us now. I was checking out the app this morning, the KSAT weather app. You put your left hit in, you put your left hit in.
He's getting his exercise again today.
Yes, he is, getting his steps in. I was checking the app this morning, and wow, there's a lot of rain and thunderstorm icons on that extended forecast.
Yes, especially now, obviously it's not going to be raining constantly, but we're going to keep basically this pattern around through the middle of next week.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, which is a good thing to get some rain since we are on the negative side, but also tomorrow's the day we got to watch out for. So today it's just going to be basically some showers out there, which is going to be helping a lot of these flowers. We've got folks have answered the call and have sent in a bunch of beautiful, beautiful pictures. And look at the bluebonnets there. And I love that shot with the color in the foreground and just the rusted roof on that That house back in the background there. That's a great shot. Thank you very much. Up there toward Bernie. Lots of clouds this morning. A whole different situation than what we had yesterday. That with the humidity has helped to hold the temperatures up about a good 12, 10, 15 degrees above where it was yesterday. Maybe a couple of sprinkles up here in northern portions of the hill country. Otherwise, we're not really seeing anything, perhaps just a little bit here and there scattered about, but we will continue to see more showers developing later on this morning as well as this afternoon. Again, these temperatures are now averaging low to mid 60s as opposed to the low 50s and upper 40s that we had around here yesterday. And these numbers have definitely come up. It's not oppressive humidity, but when you start to see, at this time yesterday, we were down in the 40s, upper 40s for dew points. So they've gone up about 10 degrees compared to yesterday as well. And the dew points are going to continue to go up, but at least it's going to be feeding some of this rain. So we're going to be looking at a pretty humid day today as well as tomorrow. And as the humidity builds in here, we've got these dew points again up in the upper 60s and low 70s, and then the front moving on throughout the afternoon tomorrow. And so it's going to be kind of a classic situation. Springtime thunderstorms, you get two conflicting air masses meeting up, and that's why the atmosphere, when you have all this humidity, is going to be somewhat on the volatile side. And so that's why we do have the chance for some potentially severe storms. Here's the computer model. Scattered rain around the area throughout the day today, maybe a few thunderstorms. Then we go into tomorrow. We're going to have a better chance for some showers and thunderstorms, especially later on in the afternoon. And the Storm Prediction Center, they put this out yesterday and still have most of the area under a slight risk. So the smallest chance for any severe storms is marginal, but most of the areas under the slight risk for severe storms tomorrow. High winds and hail would be the biggest threats, and this is going to be tomorrow starting probably mid to late afternoon and going into the evening hours. On top of that, there may be some hefty downpours in areas tomorrow night into Saturday. 69 degrees today at noon, some showers. One thing with this cloud cover out there, we are going to be staying a little bit on the cooler side. 72 yesterday, we were up in the upper 70s, so below normal. Then tomorrow, temperatures kind of peak a little bit. Front moves on through here, and that's why things are going to be more on the volatile side. So we'll have some strong to potentially severe storms tomorrow. Then going into the weekend, actually, highs are going to be on the cool side of normal. Lows are going to be on the warm side of normal, thanks to the humidity, thanks to the cloud cover out there and the showers. And so we're not going to see much fluctuation in temperatures over the weekend. Again, it won't be raining constantly, but we pretty much have a window of now 7 days to see some rain around here, which, yes, is a good thing. Obviously, you don't want too much at one time. And
right. That's why I like this forecast. It's so spread out.
Yeah, kind of spread it out and share the wealth and play some catch up, right?
Right, but tomorrow could be strong, could be some heavy rain then into Saturday.
You're a little worried about tomorrow.
We'll keep on tabs on that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Mike.
Right now, we are at 452, 64 degrees.
Still ahead, more music artists, including Justin Bieber, putting their 2020 concerts on hold for the moment while the nation tries to recover from COVID-19.
Adam Schlesinger, bassist and songwriter for the band Fountains of Wayne, has died from complications due to coronavirus. The group's highest charting hit, Stacy's Mom, cracked the top 20 on the Billboard chart in 2003. He wrote the title song for the 1996 film That Thing You Do, which scored him an Oscar nomination. And he won an Emmy for his songwriting on the TV show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Adam Schlesinger was 52. Justin Bieber has postponed his entire 2020 Changes tour because of the coronavirus shutdown. No new dates announced yet. It was set to be Bieber's first trek in 3 years. The timing of the new movie Vivarium is rather eerie. The dark drama stars Imogen Poots and Jesse Eisenberg as a couple trapped alone in a suburban nightmare they can't escape, cut off from the world. Poots tells me it sounds awfully familiar to what's going on today.
The isolation, feeling totally claustrophobic, having things forced upon you for which you had no choice. It couldn't be more potent for right now. It's really, really strange.
Vivarium is out now wherever you rent your streaming movies. And happy birthday to Michael Fassbender. The Oscar-nominated actor is 43 today, while Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. star Clark Gregg is 58. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
457, 64 degrees.
Still ahead in our next half hour, Mayor Ron Nierenberg is set to lead a moment of silence for those affected by COVID-19. Later this morning, details on that and a new alternative care facility.
Plus, YouTube planning to release a rival to the hugely popular video sharing app TikTok. More on that and a brand new Harry Potter website from J.K. Rowling coming up in Tech Bytes.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, Mayor Ron Nierenberg is set to bring awareness to those suffering from COVID-19 as the nation hits a sobering milestone.
Local defense lawyers concerned about the governor's recent action involving suspects accused of violent crimes.
And outside with live cam, rain in the extended forecast, both near and far. And Mike is talking about a window of potential severe weather here in South Texas. Good morning to you. It is Thursday. It is April 2nd.
Thanks for being with us this morning, everybody. Let's get right to your forecast. Lots of rain in the forecast, but tomorrow is the day you say we might be under the gun.
Right, especially tomorrow afternoon and then tomorrow night, overnight into Saturday. I'll explain that in a second. But this morning, we are starting off and temperatures are about anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees above what it was yesterday. We were at 64. Yesterday, we bottomed out at 52 degrees, a little bit on the cool side. Remember, up around Bernie, it was in the mid-40s, and now temperatures are in the 60s there. 58 degrees for a dew point, so the humidity has definitely come back up, and it's going to continue to increase with those southeasterly winds throughout the day. As far as any rain this morning, you really have to kind of look hard. We got a couple of showers way up north of the hill country, up there around Austin. Otherwise, it's a little bit of kind of some ground clutter around a few of the radar sites, but we will continue to see some of these showers developing, more of them popping up throughout the rest of the morning and then also this afternoon. So we've got, again, these temperatures. Everybody is averaging very warm, about 10 degrees above normal, even compared to yesterday, about 10 to 15 above where it was. 61 right now in Bernie, as I pointed out, it was 46 for a low temperature in Bernie. Oak is on the high side. It actually went up yesterday's reading compared to the day before. Mold is going to be going up over the next couple of days, given the forecast with all the moisture around here. So some sprinkles or a couple of showers around this morning, very mild temperatures, and then showers, even a couple of thunderstorms are possible. We'll only be in the low 70s today, given the fact we got a lot more clouds as well as the rain. Then the things are really going to start to get a little more volatile as we go into tomorrow. Warmer temperatures. We will have some storms. Some will be strong to potentially severe. Also, there's the chance for some heavy rain tomorrow night into Saturday morning. And then after that, we have a front moving through here, but we're still going to have some showers around throughout the weekend and low to mid 70s. What about next week? Details coming up. Time saver traffic right now. Here is Officer Nick Solis.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, everyone. All right, so we still have no accidents, but we are working on construction still. Construction. All right, that is going to be southbound 281 at San Pedro Avenue. They have the San Pedro Avenue exit blocked. That's going towards North Star Mall. So if you need to get on San Pedro Avenue from southbound 281, just exit Wurzbach Parkway or Tacoma, stay on the access road, go through Braniff, go all the way down until it meets Ramsey. You'll be back on the San Pedro, or you can just keep going southbound down 281, exit 410 East or 410 West and go around that way. But those are some alternate routes for you if you need to get through this exit. All right, here we go. Let's take a look outside. 35 and 37. That's looking really good right there. Very little cars on the roadway. 35 at Evans. Traffic's very light there, and 35 at 410. 35 looks good all around. So if you got to go to work today, you're going down 35, expect a smooth commute. Mark, Leslie, back to you.
Thank you, Nick. This morning, the United States has reached a grim milestone. More than 5,000 people have died from the coronavirus. That's according to new data from Johns Hopkins University. Experts are warning there's likely to be an even greater surge of cases in the next few weeks.
More than 87% of Americans are facing stay-at-home orders. Around the world, the coronavirus has infected nearly 1 million people and killed more than 47,000.
Well, this morning, Mayor Ron Nierenberg is ready to lead a moment of silence for those affected by COVID-19. We are getting our first look at an alternative care facility at the Bexar County grounds at Freeman Coliseum. There's room for at least 500 beds here. Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolf says the facility would be used in the event hospitals are overwhelmed. Mayor Nierenberg and the county judge will be giving us a new COVID-19 updates on the situation here in Bexar County later today. We'll have those details for you on air and online during our evening newscasts.
A COVID-19 outbreak has also been confirmed at a local nursing home. There are 14 confirmed cases at the Southeast Nursing and Rehabilitation Center on South Cross. One resident has died. Of the confirmed cases, 8 are residents, 6 are staff. All have been tested, but the results of more than 70 tests are still pending. One family visiting the nursing home had to tell her grandmother happy birthday through a window.
She said, yeah, she said she's good. She's staying away from people. They're staying in the room or whatever. She didn't have a mask on at all. That was crazy. I kind of was confused by that too, that she had no mask.
The facility is being sterilized, and staff members have been given a 1-week supply of personal protective equipment.
The president of the San Antonio Criminal Defense Lawyers Association says Governor Greg Abbott's order banning suspects accused of violent crimes from being released on personal recognizance bonds is a quote-unquote scary step to take.
She told our Paul Venema that the group feels the order is unconstitutional.
The governor signed the executive order for one reason, he said.
To stop the release of dangerous felons from prisons and jails in Texas.
Lorraine Efron, the president of the Criminal Defense Lawyers Association here, questions that order.
We are deeply offended by the governor's order. We believe it is unconstitutional.
Efron claims that the order discriminates.
This order is disproportionately unfair to the poor and has the effect of keeping the poor in jail and those with money on release, even if their offense is the same.
The order, the governor insists, is simply to protect the public from dangerous criminals and also reduce jail population in view of the COVID-19 pandemic, a move with which Efron partially agrees.
We want to save lives, and we want to reduce the population so that there's less risk to those there, not just to the inmates, but also to the staff.
While addressing COVID-19 health concerns we all share, Efron said the order unfairly ventures into what she considers a broken and unfair bail bond system, a move she said is a scary step to take. Paul Venema, KSAT 12 News.
Needless to say, education is one area that has been impacted the most by the coronavirus. Where there was once group math and reading sessions for teachers and students, there is now individual online classwork.
While giving that instruction, local teachers are now facing obstacles they never faced in the classroom, including teachers who also have kids at home that are learning. Right now on KSAT.com, we have the story of a teacher and parent who, like many, are dealing with this new reality. And here at KSAT, we are dedicated to making sure kids succeed. So while you're on our website, you can also sign up for the KSAT Kids newsletter. A new one will be released today. Right now it's 5:07. We are at 64 degrees.
Still ahead, author J.K. Rowling has released a new Harry Potter website. More on what new content fans of the franchise will be able to access.
We already know the answer to this question, but we're going to ask it anyway. Do you want to get paid while sitting at home watching Disney movies?
Yeah.
We'll tell you about a chance to do just that.
And live cam giving us a look outside. Great chance of rain coming up in the next few days. Potential for some severe storms tomorrow night. Mike's tracking all the details. Welcome back. It's 11 minutes after 5. In your morning consumer headlines, the Federal Communications Commission has now set a date for phone companies to put anti-spoofing technology in place. Starting June 30th, 2021, the technology will require carriers to make sure phone numbers are real and to block illegal robocalls. Hallelujah. The FCC estimates scam robocalls cost more than $3 billion a year in wasted time. And for those who fall for the forum, the scams cost Americans about $10 billion a year.
Kroger has announced a hero bonus for all of its frontline employees. The grocery store chain says it will add $2 to associates' standard pay rate for hourly workers who worked March 29th through April 18th or will work. All frontline grocery, supply chain, manufacturing, pharmacy, and call center associates will get the hero bonus. Kroger's chairman and CEO said it's just one more way to continue to convey our thanks and gratitude to our associates. Kroger operates over 2,700 stores and several regional supermarket chains in 35 states.
If you're bored at home while social distancing or looking for some extra cash, Reviews.org might be able to help. The company is offering people a year's worth of Disney Plus and a $200 Visa gift card. All you have to do is send an email. They're calling it the Disney Plus Dream Job. The company says 10 winners will be chosen at random. Submissions close on April 10th. Winners will be notified on April 13th.
5:12, 64 degrees.
More upcoming movie titles are being postponed until at least 2021. More on that and free entertainment services being offered amid the coronavirus outbreak.
And next, details on a new temperature detecting smart ring may help fight against COVID-19.
These are real people, not actors, who've got their eczema under control. With less eczema, you can show more skin. So roll up those sleeves and help heal your skin from within with Dupixent. Dupixent is the first treatment of its kind that continuously treats moderate to severe eczema, or atopic dermatitis, even between flare-ups. Dupixent is a biologic and not a cream or steroid. Many people taking Dupixent saw clear or almost clear skin and had significantly less itch. That's a difference you can feel. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. So help heal your skin from within, and talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Welcome back. 5:15. YouTube is planning to release a rival to TikTok, the hugely popular video sharing app. ABC's Kenneth Moten has details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, YouTube has an answer to TikTok. The video sharing platform has come up with a new app called Shorts. Users will be able to post short clips and add soundtracks using YouTube's music catalog. Reports say Shorts is expected to debut by the end of the year. A new study aims to use data from smart rings to identify coronavirus symptoms. The ring tracks changes in body temperature and heart and respiratory rates. That information could be used to diagnose patients. More than 2,000 healthcare workers are participating in the 3-month study. And if quarantine has you down, it's Harry Potter to the rescue. J.K. Rowling has launched an immersive new Hogwarts website, HarryPotterAtHome.com, complete with interactive craft videos, quizzes, and puzzles. Enjoy, Muggles. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
What do you say we check on the roadways?
We could do that. Officer Nick Solis standing by with an update, and then we'll talk to Mike about those rain chances.
Yeah, things are still looking good. No accidents on the roadways. This is the only construction we have left. This closure on San Pedro Avenue, southbound at Highway 281. So if you're going towards North Star Mall on 281, the exit to San Pedro Avenue is closed. You can still get on San Pedro, however, if you exit Nakoma just north of that San Pedro exit and stay on that access road. You'll hit San Pedro eventually, but this is the only construction we have right now. Let's take a look outside. Here is that exit, that closure there, 10 and Callahan East, looking really good. Not too much cars on the roadway. 10 Frio, inbounds and outbounds number construction there. That's looking all cleared up. And 10 and Loop 1604 on the northwest side, looking smooth as can be. Smooth.
I like that smooth sailing.
I try to add it in there.
Thank you, Nick.
I still want to start down here instead of being.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know why.
You know what I think it is? It's your inner Rockette. You're wanting to do some high stepping and go
Or
up and
inner
down.
Mother Ginger.
Yeah. We could be wrong, but we doubt it.
We have a beautiful KSAT Connects picture for you this morning. Anyway, Holly sent a few of them the past couple of days. Look at that's a fire rose as seen through a micro lens. What a very, very cool picture. Thank you so much for that. Got some great pictures. Everybody's been sending them in. Going to show those throughout the course of the morning. A lot of clouds around this morning as opposed to yesterday when we had that beautiful sunrise. And this is some clutter around the radar sites, but up in parts of the hill country, up around Austin, we've got a few showers that are showing up. We're going to see more rain starting to develop as the morning rolls on. Temperatures are about 10 above normal and about 10 to 15 above what it was yesterday. Yesterday, of course, here in town, we were down to the low 50s, and in portions of the hill country got into the mid to upper 40s. Also, the humidity, as expected, has come back up. It's not oppressively humid, but dew points are flirting with getting up there to the point where you really notice it, and that is going to be the case throughout the day with the humidity coming back on in here, and that's going to be feeding some showers, and even a couple of thunderstorms are possible today. Humidity will continue to stick around, obviously, overnight, and then notice how the drier air starts to work its way in here throughout the afternoon. This is the front that's moving on through, and this is going to be kind of a classic springtime situation where you have two opposing air masses, and as the drier air meets up with this very volatile, unstable, humid air, that's what's going to be touching off some fairly decent thunderstorms on the strong side, potentially on the severe side. And even though that front moves on through, it's not going to be clearing things out. We'll still keep kind of the same weather pattern. Here's what the computer model is indicating today. Again, some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms will be developing throughout the day, and then a few of them around tomorrow morning. And in the afternoon, that's when things really get going as that front approaches. And like I said, some of those thunderstorms could be on the severe side. Storm Prediction Center still has the slight risk, which is basically number 2 on the scale, slight risk for severe weather for most of our area. High winds and hail are going to be the biggest threats. Of course, anytime you have severe storms, an isolated tornado can't be completely ruled out. It's not very likely, though, in this scenario. Also, then we have to watch out for some potentially heavy rain as we go into tomorrow night and early Saturday morning. Some pockets of some heavy rain are possible. And this is a fairly decent front and cold air mass. I mean, it's only 8 right now in Cut Bank and 11 in Casper. So that's moving on through here, and that's going to hold temperatures down. Now, it's not going to be bone chilling over the weekend, but we are going to be on the below normal side coming up this weekend. 69 today at noon. Some showers developing around the area. Showers, even a couple of thunderstorms later on today, and only 72. Yesterday we were in the upper 70s, just like the previous day on Tuesday, but it will be cooler today with rain around here, and then showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Some are going to be on the strong, potentially severe side in the afternoon going into tomorrow evening. We'll make it up to 78, so it's going to be very warm, very humid. And then Saturday comes in here, and temperatures are going to be down in behind that front. We'll still have some showers because the overall pattern is not going to be changing, so it won't rain constantly, but we have got rain chances pretty much through the middle of next week.
Wow, it's going to be wet.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike. Time check right now, where it's 5:21, 64 degrees.
Up next, Universal Pictures is moving its latest movie release as far from the coronavirus as it can. More on when you can expect to see your favorite characters on the big screen again.
Here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 902, Fireball 1. Daily 4 numbers 4737, Fireball 1.
And you cash 5 numbers 2, 11, 15, 24, 35. Lotto 1, 19, 20, 31, 35, and 45. Powerball numbers are 33, 35, 45, 48, 60, 16 is the Powerball with a power play of 2.
Some upcoming movies are getting their release dates shoved to at least 2021.
For the latest entertainment news, let's check in with David Daniel in the Hollywood Minute.
I just had to deal with it. Free Howard Stern. No, he's not in jail. The popular SiriusXM host has announced that the service will be free for North American listeners through May 15th as a gesture to people staying home amid the coronavirus outbreak. Listeners can tune in to Stern's show and more than 300 channels of entertainment, news, and more, including Stay Home Radio, a channel featuring feel-good tracks from popular artists.
I don't know what lies ahead. It's all a mystery, man. I heard it said.
Deep Purple is back. The English rock band's new studio album, Whoosh, arrives June 12th. When it came to releasing Throw My Bones as the first single from the album, drummer Ian Pace says the band took its lead from Ear Music label head Max Vaccaro.
He said, "We think this is the way to go. We get the interest started on this record, and we think this is the first track we should do." And we just went, "Hey Max, you know your business, we know ours. We're not going to step on your toes. If you think that's the way to go, that's what we do." And that's as simple as that.
He took the stone!
The Minions are getting as far from the coronavirus as they can. Universal has bumped its release of Minions: The Rise of Gru a full year to July 2nd, 2021. Previously, Universal delayed the 9th Fast and Furious movie to April of 2021, when hopefully people will have returned to movie theaters. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
5:26, 64 degrees.
Still ahead in our next half hour, sometimes a crisis like this pandemic brings people together, including politicians. More on a possible talk between former Vice President Joe Biden and President Donald Trump.
As many Americans are actually waiting for those stimulus checks to arrive. More on what you need to do to make sure you're receiving it without getting scammed.
And how a local woman is leading an effort to create 3D printed face shields to donate to those who need them in our area.
Good morning. It is Thursday. It is April 2nd.
Hopefully you enjoyed that beautiful weather we had the last couple of days, because you probably aren't going to see that again for a little while.
Going to need to keep the umbrella handy for quite a few days.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Keep an umbrella handy, and then tomorrow things may get a little bit on the rough side, especially in the afternoon and then tomorrow night.
Which could make the morning commute a little tough the next few days.
Yeah, definitely. No accidents right now, just some construction I'll tell you about here in a second.
Okay.
What camera am I on right now?
You're not on any camera.
Where do you want to be?
Anything's fine with me. It looks like there's a light over there.
You're headed to 3.
So I'll head to camera 3.
Okay.
We do have lots of clouds out there, and as expected, things are a lot different this morning than what they were yesterday. Temperatures are up about 10, 15 degrees compared to yesterday. We're on the above normal side, more humidity, and we are starting to see a few showers. Now, this is all just a little bit of clutter around the respective radar sites, and there may be some, some sprinkles, some drizzle out there. A few showers just north of Austin, well north of the hill country as of right now, but we'll see more developing throughout the day. And as opposed to low 50s and upper 40s like we had yesterday, we're in the 60s right now. Lost Maples down to 58 degrees, but again, it is definitely on the warm side. And Oak went up yesterday compared to the previous day. We're at 5,720. Mold is going to be going up the next couple of days, just given the fact we do have a fair amount of rain in the forecast. 69 degrees today at noon, 72 for a high. So we are going to be down compared to yesterday. We will have more showers developing and even a couple of thunderstorms. Tomorrow is going to be the best chance for rain. Like I said, there's the chance for some of those storms to be strong, potentially severe, and maybe some heavy downpours localized as well going into Saturday morning. Then we keep some rain chances around. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. Any big problems out there, Nick?
No big problems, Mike. Just the same construction we've had all morning. It seems like it's still there. This is going to be southbound 281 at San Pedro Avenue. That San Pedro Avenue exit is closed right now, going towards North Star Mall. Keep that in mind. If you need to get on San Pedro Avenue from 281, just exit Tacoma. And you can stay on the access road there, and eventually you'll make it onto San Pedro Avenue and bypass all that construction there. All right, let's take a look outside. 10 at the Y looking good. 281 at Sprucewood looking good as well. Not very many cars on the roadway. 37 and 410, very light traffic. And let's see what else we have here. 281 at San Pedro. There, you can see in the back, there's still some traffic construction there. They might have just opened it up though. I'll get you updated on that. But I hope you all are having a great morning. Mark Leslie, back to you.
Thank you, Nick. City of San Antonio is set to pay respects to those who have been fighting personal battles against the coronavirus. Mayor Ron Nierenberg has called for a moment of reflection this morning. Katrina Weber is live outside the San Fernando Cathedral downtown with that story. And we understand, Katrina, a big part of this will take place there.
Well, that's right. The bells here at the cathedral are set to toll for 1 full minute later this morning. People also are asked to observe a moment of silence. That will be at 9:20 to be exact. This is in honor of those who have fallen to COVID-19, as well as those who are still struggling with the illness. The latest figures show that includes a lot of people in our area. In Bexar County now, 231 people have tested positive for the coronavirus, while 9 people have died. Comal County has 12 confirmed cases with 1 death so far. And for the first time, someone in Kerr County has tested positive for the coronavirus. Again, the bells are set to ring here at the San Fernando Cathedral downtown at 9:20 this morning. Again, at that time, people are asked to observe a moment of silence. Reporting live downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Coronavirus-focused talk may soon happen between President Donald Trump and a Democratic candidate who wants to succeed him.
CNN's John Lawrence has more on this unique meeting.
Sometimes a crisis like the COVID-19 pandemic brings people together, including politicians who have exchanged vitriol in the past. But is that realistic now?
I've learned a long time ago, never question a person's motive, but you can question their judgment. And his judgment is that many of the things he says simply are not accurate.
Despite that stance, Joe Biden's campaign says a talk between the former vice president and President Trump is being arranged.
I always found him to be a nice guy. I don't know him very well, frankly, but I think he's probably a nice guy. No, if he'd like to call, I'd absolutely take his call.
So far, there's no concrete plan or a guarantee it'll go smoothly.
I find it to be petty and
a tinge of partisanship, and completely unhelpful to the American population to have a former vice president who was here for 8 years in his bunker in Wilmington just lobbing criticisms.
In a USA Today op-ed in late January, Biden said President Trump was the worst possible leader to handle the COVID-19 crisis. And President Trump said this week that New York Governor Andrew Cuomo would be a better presidential candidate than Biden.
The president is always finding someone who does a better job than me. He's not wanted to run against me for the last 3 years. But, Mr. President, here I come.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
As Americans anxiously wait for a stimulus check to arrive, what do you need to do to make sure that you receive it? If you've already filed your taxes, you're good to go. But if you haven't because you aren't normally required to file, you will need to take action. Right now on our website, we have information on what you need to do. Go to ksat.com/coronavirus. And while there, you can read about some of the scams you should be cautious of so you don't fall victim.
The coronavirus has shut down the Grand Canyon. The National Park Service says the park was already operating at a limited capacity because of the pandemic. This does not mean all national parks will be closed. The Park Service says it's listening to state and local health officials when determining what to do with its parks.
When you think about essential businesses during the pandemic, places like pharmacies and grocery stores come to mind. But what about golf courses?
In Minnesota, an online petition is urging Minnesota's governor to make golf essential during this pandemic. At last check, it has more than 37,000 signatures. One of the golf supporters is a chiropractor. He wrote a letter to the governor. He says that golf helps boost the immune system in the fight against COVID-19. The governor says he is talking with health experts to see what, if anything, can be done to get golfers back in the swing of things.
Up in Minnesota, where it looks like spring has finally arrived after a long, cold winter.
It has been a long, cold winter.
Now 5:36, 64 degrees.
Still ahead, a local concerned citizen and a UTSA engineer team up to provide personal protective shields to local healthcare facilities for free.
And next, when it comes to symptoms of COVID-19, health experts say they are learning some new things every day, which in some cases is helping people recover.
And taking you outside with Live Cam. It's Thursday. We're almost at Friday. I know for many of you, it just kind of all rolls together. But for some of you, it's a welcome weekend relief.
As the days go by, we're hearing more about symptoms of the coronavirus.
More specifically, how they can take a sudden, very serious turn. ABC's Kimberly Brooks has that story.
We already know it's a matter of life and death, but between those two is living life after being diagnosed with the coronavirus. At its best, no symptoms, but at its worst, cautionary tales of unexpected turns. CNN anchor Chris Cuomo, broadcasting from his basement, says he suffered extreme night sweats Tuesday, like he's never experienced before.
It was like somebody was beating me like a piñata.
For Julia Thaler in Yonkers, New York, it was manageable until day 8.
I spiked a fever of 102.7, and I started with the cough, and that triggered my asthma.
After self-isolating for 21 days and going to donate blood, she learned she still had the virus. Tom Bataccio took himself to an ER in Illinois twice, only to be sent home both times. Now, the father of 3 is hospitalized with pneumonia and congestive heart failure.
For me, it's having to trust God in this situation because I can't be there. And that is the struggle.
The virus proving no family is immune, even touching our ABC News family. Our Ginger Z tweeting Tuesday about body aches and a tight chest. And our George Stephanopoulos announcing from his home studio that his wife, actress Allie Wentworth, had symptoms. Allie later posting, "I've tested positive for the coronavirus. I've never been sicker. This is pure misery. #stay home." But with every positive test, there are so many survivors. This veteran from Oregon is celebrating his remarkable recovery from the virus, and he's 104 years old.
And that was ABC's Kimberly Brooks reporting. Right now, 5:41, 64 degrees.
Still ahead, how one concerned citizen is taking it upon herself to protect those she cares about by creating 3D printed face shields.
There is a huge need for safe medical equipment at healthcare facilities around the world and here at home.
RJ Marquez talked to a local woman who's helped spark a grassroots community effort to create 3D printed face shields to donate to those who need them in our area.
With a shortage of medical equipment across the country and here in San Antonio, Felicia Powell wanted to find a way to help while she didn't have to look very far. Powell is a program coordinator at Hemisphere. The organization just received a grant from a donor to create a makerspace that included a 3D printer.
I started noticing people were printing like the face mask, and then I started realizing what the shortages were in terms of PPE and medical equipment. I'm like, what can I make that requires little material? And it was a face shield.
Powell and UTSA engineer Tui Din joined the makers community to provide personal protective shields to local healthcare facilities for free. Part of that process included working with the San Antonio 3D printing company, Alice 4 3D Printing, to design a customized frame for the shields.
They donated all this designing time, and then based on my feedback and me going back and forth with them, we created this the face shield frame that is reusable because it's made with material that can be sterilized. Making the shields reusable was a major factor for Powell and the team. The designers went through multiple prototypes until they found the right one. Usually they're made like disposable foam, and they have to be after one use. It can be reused over and over again. So the material that we decided to use is PET-G, which can be UV sterilized and autoclaved, so you can do about 50 uses in a hospital setting. Powell told me they have donated more than 400 reusable face shields to San Antonio hospitals, urgent cares, private practices, and many more. It's been a round-the-clock effort for Powell and the team. They continue to fill up bin after bin and get more requests by the day. Every material, frame, or money donated has gone back into making shields for healthcare workers on the front lines. I expected, just to kind of fill a little need. It's actually been very emotional. It's like I want to work as hard as they're doing for us to make sure, I can do as much as I can for them. They're protecting our parents, our friends, our coworkers. For the 9, RJ Marcus.
Well, first problems with their MAX jets, and now the pandemic. Boeing is looking for new ways to conserve cash amid the shutdowns. The company expected to start offering early retirement and buyout packages for its workforce. The Wall Street Journal says the announcement to employees could come as soon as today. Boeing has about 160,000 workers.
Another business hit hard by the coronavirus, movie theaters. The Wall Street Journal says some of the lenders to AMC, the world's biggest theater chain, have hired a law firm ahead of expected restructuring talks. AMC is carrying nearly $5 billion in debt.
546, or actually just now 547, 64 degrees.
Let's check on the roadway, see how your traffic is looking on this Thursday.
Yeah, a lot of green on the screen here, so that's good. We do have one accident working on. It's going to be Kylesdale Parkway and Champions Gate. In that area, it looks like a one-vehicle accident where the vehicle hit a pole. Wrecker is on the way there, so hopefully this gets cleared up soon. I would be more concerned if school was still in, because it's right there by Brandeis and Stinson Middle School, but right now things are looking like it should get cleared up here pretty soon. All right, take a look outside. 37 in Jones looking very good on the southeast side. 281 and 410, very light traffic, not too bad there right now. We got 281 in Grayson, both lanes north and southbound looking very light to moderate. 410 in San Pedro looking good, and 10 in Crossroads was looking good as well. So if you're heading to work today, expect a smooth commute because things are looking very good out there.
We like that.
Thank you, Nick. First thing comes to mind for me today is, do we need the umbrella today, or can we hold on to it for tomorrow?
You might want to grab it today. We don't have a lot out there right now as far as any rain, but we are going to see more showers around here the next few days, and you'll probably get some good use out of it. It's a beautiful picture. Of course, not seeing the folks enjoying the river walk, but there are some beautiful flowers down there. That's a great picture, and I love the umbrellas from Casa Rio in the background there. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. That is awfully pretty. We have a lot of clouds around this morning. The humidity is up, temperatures are up, so it's about a 180 shift just about from where we were at this time yesterday and even on Tuesday when we had such nice weather. Now, it is, though, going to be nice to see some rain. We do have a little bit that's been showing up to the north Nothing else is really being picked up on radar right now. There could be a couple of sprinkles out there, some very, very light stuff, so just watch out for that. But more showers are going to be developing as the morning rolls on. And temperatures are, well, first of all, about 10 degrees above normal here in town and about 10 to 15 above where it was yesterday. 61 right now up the road toward Bernie. It was in the mid 40s yesterday. We had gotten down to 52 degrees yesterday for a low temperature. The humidity is also up, and it's going to continue to go up with winds coming in here out of the southeast. So we'll be seeing some pretty humid conditions later on this afternoon, although that's going to be feeding some of the showers. The humidity is going to be sticking around tonight and throughout most of the day tomorrow. But then there's the front that moves through late in the afternoon and the evening hours, and that's going to be a classic situation of two opposing air masses meeting up, which you usually see in the spring like this, and that's why we're going to be seeing the potential for some fairly decent thunderstorms, maybe on the strong to potentially severe side. Now, even though we're going to be seeing drier air come in here, the weather pattern is not going to be changing. We won't see as many thunderstorms, but we'll still have some rain around even into the weekend and the first part of next week. So scattered showers today, maybe a couple of thunderstorms trying to develop. And then tomorrow we have a little bit of rain starting off, but then it's in the afternoon when things really get fired up with that next front moving on through here. And Storm Prediction Center does have a slight risk for severe storms, high winds and hail being the biggest threats. You can't completely rule out an isolated tornado. It's not very likely, though, in this scenario, but it's just something to be on the lookout. This is going to be tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours tomorrow. And then tomorrow overnight into Saturday is when we could see some heavy rain. So through tomorrow evening, we won't see quite as much. But then overnight, like I said, into Saturday is when we'll see some of those potentially heavy downpours. And this is just kind of the broad brush, if you will. There are going to be some localized amounts that would be much heavier than that. So that's what we'll have to watch out for. And then rain chances continue even after that. 69 degrees today at noon. A couple of showers going to be developing around the area. More showers, a couple of thunderstorms later on this afternoon, and a high of only 72. So we will be a little bit lower, well, obviously, than yesterday when we got up to 78 degrees. And tomorrow we go back up into the upper 70s, and that's going to make the atmosphere a little bit more unstable, a little more volatile. And we'll have some of those thunderstorms potentially strong, potentially severe in the afternoon. 70 on Saturday behind that front. So it is a fairly decent front for this time of year, knocking temperatures down. So we stay below normal for highs, but the low temperatures are going to be staying mild because of the clouds, the humidity, and we'll have rain chances even into the first part of next week. It won't rain constantly.
Which is the best case scenario.
Right. But again, tomorrow night into Saturday, as far as heavy rain is concerned, that's what we have to watch out for, and tomorrow afternoon for the strong stuff.
Rain, possible hail, high wind, the whole kit and caboodle.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
551, 64 degrees.
A couple gets creative when they learn that family and friends would not be able to attend their wedding in person.
Your pick three numbers, 902 Fireball 1, daily four numbers 4737, also a Fireball of 1.
And your cash five numbers 2, 11, 15, 24, 35, Lotto 1, 19, 20, 31, 35, 45, and Powerball 35, well 33, 35, 45, 48, 60, 16 is the Powerball, and a power play of 2.
Good morning. The very latest on the coronavirus pandemic. That's where we start here on GMA. The numbers are in. More than 200,000 cases reported here in the U.S. Hospitals feeling the crush. Now we've got new footage that's going to take us inside an emergency room in Queens, New York, showing how very overwhelmed they really are. We're going to hear from doctors, too, on the front lines this morning, and you'll see it all coming up on GMA.
The coronavirus pandemic has drastically impacted the Animal Defense League fundraising efforts for the year. So they're asking the community for help by asking them to participate in the KSAT Community ADL 100 Facebook Fundraising Challenge. You can create a Facebook fundraiser based on a personal story of how an animal has changed your life and then encourage your friends and family to donate. The person who raises the most funds with the ADL named as beneficiary will win a VIP experience at the shelter's annual gala. The money will help ADL continue to save the lives of thousands of pets around the Alamo City area. For more information, go to KSAT.com, click on our community section. Still a couple more days to give the gift of life. The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center will hold the next 2 blood drives at Stevens High School's gymnasium, singular. One is happening today, another tomorrow. It's happening from 9 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon in the 600 block of North Ellison Drive. Remember to make an appointment by visiting southtexasblood.org or by calling this number, 210-731-5590. A reminder to call that same number if you cannot keep your appointment. We have all this information, guess where? KSAT.com. Well, how do you hold a church wedding if much of the country is under stay-at-home orders? A couple in Michigan have their big day scheduled for Saturday, but the groom didn't want his bride to walk down the aisle in a mostly empty church. So he had a local packing company make cardboard cutouts to replace family and friends who couldn't come. The company donated all the work, and the groom says that's reminding him there's an upside even during this pandemic. Right now it's about 3 till right now on your busy Thursday morning. Still ahead on the next hour of GMSA. And in the next 30 minutes, we'll have the latest on a fire that's damaged a local restaurant overnight. And the rain hasn't moved in yet, but get ready. It is coming, and it's going to be sticking around for days to come. We'll get the latest from Nick and Mike right here on GMSA. A local nursing home dealing with its own outbreak in the middle of the pandemic. We will see just how scary it is and how family members are responding.
With more than 5,000 deaths from COVID-19 around the country, President Trump is striking a grim tone. I'm Inez de la Cuetara in Washington, and I'll have all the details coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam. If you enjoyed the sunshine the last couple of days, good, because we might not be seeing any more for a few more days.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you. It is Thursday, April 2nd.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning, everybody. Good chances of rain coming our way, but tomorrow night is the night we have to really watch out for.
Yes, especially tomorrow afternoon for strong to severe storms into tomorrow evening, and then heavy rain overnight is what we have to watch out for. Yeah, and then it's just going to be sticking around after that. Today, take a rain jacket, take an umbrella. There's not much out there right now. As a matter of fact, hardly anything is showing up in the area on radar. There could be a couple little sprinkles here and there that are too light to show up. We've had a few showers well up there to the north and to the northeast, and that's it as of right now, but more is going to be developing. Also, temperatures. Yesterday we were down to 52 here in town, mid-40s up in portions of the hill country and toward Bernie, and now we're about 10 to 15 above that, about 10 above normal here in town. Oak is on the high side. It's hopefully the season's coming to an end, but it did go up yesterday compared to the day before. Of course, the updated count's going to be coming out about an hour and a half. Mold is more than likely going to be going up over the next couple of days just because we have a lot of moisture in the forecast. So temperatures, we are going to make it up into the probably about upper 60s, close to 70 by noon. More showers going to be developing as the morning rolls on, and then more showers and even a couple of thunderstorms later on today. It's going to be cooler than yesterday, only in the low 70s for a high temperature. We are going to see kind of a spike in temperatures a little bit tomorrow. That's setting the stage for potentially strong storms. And then it will be a bit on the cool side compared to normal, not cold, but just cool this weekend. We'll talk about the rain chances coming up. Time saver traffic right now. Here is Officer Nick Solis, and you've had a couple of incidents, but looks pretty good on the roads right now.
Yeah, right here looks good. The major highways are real cleared up, Mike. Just working on one accident right now. That's going to be off of Kyle Steele Parkway near Champions Gate Drive. Right there, there's that neighborhood near Brandeis Stinson area. So we have this accident. It's a one vehicle accident. Looks like it hit a electric pole, and it looks like SAPD is on scene right now, and a tow truck is on scene. So hopefully they get this accident cleared up very fast. Let's look at some drive times. If you're on 1604 westbound from US 281 to I-10, you're looking at a 6-minute drive. And if you're on southbound 281 from Bulverde to 1604, 6 minutes as well. So really, really good times there. All right, let's take a look outside. 37 and 410 is looking very good. Light traffic. 281 at San Pedro, where we had that closure earlier, that is now opened up. Good news. 281 San Pedro is looking good. 10 and Callahan on the northwest side looking very light to moderate as well, and 10 in Frio, inbounds and outbounds, looking good. So I hope everyone's having a great morning. You have an even better day. Mark, Leslie, back to you.
Thank you, Nick. New this morning, the city of San Antonio will hold a moment of silence for all those fighting and who have passed away due to the coronavirus.
Mayor Ron Nierenberg says it will take place at 9:20 this morning. The church bells at San Fernando Cathedral will ring for a full minute. The mayor will also hold his daily press conference tonight to update us on the pandemic in Bexar County.
Meanwhile, the number of cases in Bexar County continues to grow. There are now 231 total cases. Unfortunately, nobody else has died from COVID-19. 9 people have passed away from fighting the virus, or losing their battle, rather. Metro Health says 45 people who have been fighting COVID have made a full recovery.
Well, Comal County also starting to see more cases. Of the 165 people who were tested, 11 are positive for COVID-19. Some health experts say the number of positive cases could be lower in more rural counties because people are living further apart. But they do say people should still implement proper social distancing.
A COVID-19 outbreak has been confirmed at a local nursing home. There are 14 confirmed cases at Southeast Nursing and Rehabilitation on South Cross. 1 person has died. Of the confirmed cases, 8 are people who live there, 6 are staff. Everyone has been tested. But the results of more than 70 others are still pending. One family visiting the nursing home had to tell their grandmother happy birthday through a window.
She said she's good. She's staying away from people. They're staying in the room or whatever. She didn't have a mask on at all. That was crazy. I kind of was confused by that too, that she had no mask.
The facility is being sterilized and staff have been given a 1-week supply of personal protective equipment.
Well, the debate over whether to wear a face mask during the pandemic is growing louder. Mayor Ron Nierenberg and city officials in Laredo are exploring the possibility of people wearing masks at all times when they go out. Right now, the World Health Organization says that only those who are sick or who work in areas that increase their exposure should wear masks. Many cities and states are investigating if wearing masks would actually help. Just recently, the mayor of Los Angeles, California, told everyone in the city to wear a mask when they go out.
It is a quote-unquote scary step to take. That's how the president of the San Antonio Criminal Defense Lawyers Association characterizes Governor Greg Abbott's order banning suspects accused of previously convicted of violent crimes from being released on PR or personal recognizance bonds.
She told our Paul Venema the group feels the order is unconstitutional.
The governor signed the executive order for one reason, he said.
To stop the release of dangerous felons from prisons and jails in Texas.
Lorraine Efron, the president of the Criminal Defense Lawyers Association here, questions that order.
We are deeply offended by the governor's order. We believe it is unconstitutional.
Efron claims that the order discriminates.
This order is disproportionately unfair to the poor and has the effect of keeping the poor in jail and those with money on release, even if their offense is the same.
The order, the governor insists, is simply to protect the public from dangerous criminals and also reduce jail population in view of the COVID-19 pandemic, a move with which Efron partially agrees.
We want to save lives and we want to reduce the population so that there's less risk to those there, not just to the inmates, but also to the staff.
While addressing COVID-19 health concerns we all share, Efron said the order unfairly ventures into what she considers a broken and unfair bail bond system, a move she said is a scary step to take. Paul Venema, KSAT 12 News.
A local Toyota supplier is switching gears and now producing face shields to supply to healthcare workers. Typically, Reyes Hayashi Automotive provides interior soft trim products to Toyota, but now they're making 5,000 protective face shields a day. Production will increase next week, and they hope to be able to produce up to 10,000 a day. According to the company's president, so far they have 150,000 orders from local and state groups.
6:07. Meanwhile, more states now heeding the call to flatten the curve after most ordered people to stay at home.
Meanwhile, President Donald Trump warns America to prepare for a very painful few weeks. ABC's Inez de la Cuartera is in Washington with the latest.
With more than 5,000 deaths now reported from COVID-19 across the country, President Trump striking a grim tone.
Difficult days are ahead for our nation. We're going to have a couple of weeks starting pretty much now, but especially a few days from now, that are going to be horrific.
and warning the national stockpile of personal protective gear for healthcare workers is nearly depleted.
It is because we're sending it directly to hospitals. We don't want it to come to the stockpile because then we have to take it.
The New York Times reporting the contract to maintain the government's stockpile lapsed last summer. A dispute meant that a new firm did not begin its work until January. The virus is expected to kill tens of thousands of Americans. Florida, Georgia, and Mississippi joining at least 42 other states ordering residents to stay at home. The president now facing growing calls to issue similar nationwide restrictions.
There are some states that are different. There are some states that don't have much of a problem.
Across the country, field hospitals going up from Massachusetts to Illinois. A doctor taking ABC News inside New York's Mount Sinai Queens Hospital now pushed to the brink.
All these patients here sitting out in the hallways because we are full.
In Los Angeles, Mayor Eric Garcetti announcing the city is recommending citizens wear face masks while in public, as Dr. Fauci weighs in on how long social distancing could last.
When it goes down to essentially no new cases, no deaths at a period of time.
Vice President Mike Pence says he expects the worst of the pandemic to be over by Memorial Day, which is still about 2 months away. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
We will, of course, continue to follow the latest stories around our community during this pandemic. To get the latest information from our city, state, and nation, go to KSAT.com. There's a tab on our homepage dedicated to the coronavirus.
3 teens are in police custody, 2 in the hospital after a standoff with an off-duty Universal City police officer. Officers responded to the shooting call on the 13,400 block of Blanco Road last night. San Antonio police made the scene. They say 5 teens were apparently breaking into cars at the Landera apartment complex. This morning we are hearing from Police Chief William McManus, who says things escalated when the officer went out to confront those teens.
The officer stated that they said, "Are you prepared to die?" They pointed a gun at him. At that point, he ducked out of the way, pulled his weapon, shot 2 of them. One of them was arrested here in the parking lot. The other one jumped into a vehicle with 3 other males, and they drove to another location.
Police were able to arrest the 3 teens that ran off. Police now say the 2 teens who went to the hospital did not have life-threatening injuries.
As if things couldn't get any worse for a local restaurant this morning, the owner is cleaning up after a fire. Firefighters responded to a call around 10:45 last night. This is in the 1400 block of Somerset at Eczema, a few blocks away from South San Antonio High School. A police officer called in the fire as he drove past it. The owner was trying to put out the fire in the kitchen when firefighters arrived. The restaurant will not be allowed to reopen until a food inspector is able to check it out.
San Antonio police need your help finding the person responsible for robbing a local convenience store. They say this man robbed a Circle K in the 9200 block of South Zarzamora back on March 24th. They say he used a knife to demand money, cigarettes, and cigars from an employee before running away.
Police are also looking for this man who they say robbed the Spirit of San Antonio back on March the 18th. It's a shop in the 800 block of East Riverwalk. Police say he walked into the store, pulled out a handgun, told the cashier to give him money from the register. He then ran away. If you recognize either one of these 2 men, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP, and you could be eligible for a $5,000 reward.
My apologies, had a tickle in my throat. 6:11 right now, 64 degrees.
Move over TikTok. The app's massive success has led YouTube to compete with a brand new app called Shorts.
Shorts, okay. Many teachers in a unique position during the pandemic, teaching kids online and at home. We'll see how one local teacher is handling it all.
And Live Cam giving us a look outside. Got a lot of rain in the forecast. Mike is tracking your weekend forecast. Coming up.
Needless to say, education is one area that's been greatly impacted by coronavirus. Where there were once group math and reading sessions for teachers and students, there's now individual online classwork.
And while giving that instruction, local teachers now face obstacles they never faced in the classroom, including teachers who also have children at home that are also learning. Right now on KSAT.com, we have the story of a teacher and parent who, like many, are dealing with this new reality. And here at KSAT, we are dedicated to making sure kids succeed.
So while you are on our website, you can also sign up for the KSAT Kids newsletter. A new one is going to be released today. 6:16.
Time to check the roadways once again. Nick, what's happening out there?
Yeah, not much, Leslie. It looks like we're just about to clear up that accident on Kylesdale Parkway and Champions Gate. Wrecker is on scene there, and it looks like this one's about to be cleared up, so good news there. Taking a look at some more drive times. If you're coming from the city of New Braunfels to 1604, you got a 15-minute commute, and if you're on 35 southbound from Loop 1604 to downtown, 12 minutes, so not bad times there. Things are looking really good if you're out on the roadways right now. All right, taking a look at the trans guy, 35 and 410. Traffic's picking up just a little bit, still not bad. 37 at Jones on the southeast side. Those northbound lanes there looking really good right now. 281 and 410. Looking great, no problems there. And let's do one more, 281 at Grayson. Once again, north and southbound lanes looking phenomenal.
Thank you very much, Nick. 64 degrees. So one of the first things you told us this morning, other than that the rain chances were still there, was how much warmer it is this morning compared to yesterday.
10, 15 degrees in some places. Now, yesterday we were looking at 52 here, and up around Bernie it was in the mid-40s.
But we're not going to heat up very much today.
No, not that much. Tomorrow's going to be warmer, but tomorrow's then the day when we've got to watch out for stronger severe storms maybe.
Peeking over your shoulder, I'm having images of the Black Stallion, which is such a beautiful film from many years ago.
And this is a just magnificent animal. Look at that picture of that horse. Gorgeous. And it is I guess Frisian? I believe I'm pronouncing that right, a Frisian horse. Milo the Magnificent.
Beautiful. Just, stunning.
It almost doesn't look real.
I know.
So beautiful. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Keep the pictures coming on in. We got had lots of them of some great flowers out there, and we should be seeing a lot of beautiful flowers popping up in the next week or so just because of the rain that's in the forecast. So lots of clouds around this morning, and we're not seeing much rain as of right now. We've got a little bit up in northern portions of the hill country. There could be some mist or some sprinkles here and there. That's too light to be picked up on radar, but we will see more popping up later on this morning as well as into this afternoon. Again, yeah, these temperatures are, well, about 10 degrees above normal. Should be mid 50s right now for a normal low temperature, and 10 to 15 above what it was yesterday. There's a lot more humidity, of course, than yesterday, and that's what's helped to keep temperatures up. That and the cloud cover, and the humidity is just going to continue to go up with these dew points. The measure of moisture in the atmosphere, when it gets above 60, you feel it. When it gets in the upper 60s, close to 70, that's when you really start to feel it. And that's going to be the case today as well as tomorrow. And then notice how some dry air is moving on in here. We've got a fairly potent front for this time of year that's going to be coming on through. But as that front runs into this warm, humid, unstable, kind of volatile air, that's what's going to be touching off strong to potentially severe storms tomorrow afternoon and then going into tomorrow night. Now, even though a lot of times you think of, fronts moving on through and that clears things out, that's not the situation this time around because of the upper level winds. This is down here at the surface, but we still have a lot of moisture upstairs, so that's what's going to keep the rain chances around here. So scattered rain today, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, and then going into the overnight hours, still a little bit of scattered rain starting off tomorrow. And then things really start to fire up by the afternoon. That's as the front moves through, and that's why we do have the chance for some potentially severe storms. We do have a slight risk, which is basically kind of number 2 on the scale as far as the high winds and hail would be the biggest threats with this. An isolated tornado is possible. Not very likely, though. You just can't rule it out in a situation like this. As far as rainfall, throughout the next, say, 36 hours through tomorrow evening, not a lot. We'll have a couple of pockets here and there, but then it's tomorrow night into Saturday when most of the rain is going to be falling. You can see some widespread 1.5 inch, 2 inch amounts, and then some heavier amounts on top of that. So that's what we'll have to watch out for, is some heavy rain tomorrow night into Saturday. 69 at noon. Showers will be developing, and then more showers, a couple of thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Only 72 for a high temperature, so down compared to the past couple of days. And then we go back up into the upper 70s tomorrow, and that's really going to kind of get the atmosphere volatile and sort of going as far as the chance for severe storms. Strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours, and then maybe some heavy rain overnight into Saturday. We'll still keep some showers around. It won't rain constantly, but just this pattern won't change going in through the weekend and next week, and we'll be back up into the low 80s by next week.
So you're saying there's a chance and we shouldn't get a car wash?
No. Maybe this will kind of be a little car wash to get rid of that oak stuff all over the
Wow,
place.
are we out of board games and puzzles at this point? I mean, we're settling in for the long haul here, aren't we?
No, I think we can still be creative. And there's so many different companies that are offering so many options for us.
Yeah.
It's not going to be so bad.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Again, get out the color crayons, get out the board games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Open a bottle of something. Right now, 621, 64 degrees.
too.
I know, but that's for the adults. 21 on it.
The CDC is considering a recommendation that everyone should wear non-medical masks in public. In your GMA First Look, we're going to see the most effective way to cover your face.
Bottle of grape juice?
Yes.
Here's your secret word of the day. Enter it on KSAT.com/Circle K for a monthly chance to win free gas for a year. Every entry wins a hot dog or kolache. We are Circle K.
Hey America, I've got something to say. The census counts us all, and an accurate count helps inform where billions go every year. So don't miss a good chance to be counted.
Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
For most patients that have sensitivity, it's very common to have a gum health concern as well. If you have sensitive teeth, you probably aren't going to brush your teeth as effectively because it causes pain. And if you see blood, you should do something about it. You know, I talk to dentists every day, and they're able to recommend one product, new Sensodyne Sensitivity and Gum, to address both conditions at the same time. If we only treat one versus the other, the patient's mouth is never going to be where it needs to be. It's really good dentistry to be able to recommend one product for patients that can address two conditions.
I switched to Miralax for my constipation. Stimulant laxatives forcefully stimulate the nerves in your colon. Miralax works with the water in your body to unblock your system naturally, and it doesn't cause bloating, cramping, gas, or a sudden urgency. Miralax. Look for the pink app.
In this morning's GMA First Look, call it Face Coverings 101.
At this point, there really seems to be no question that everybody should be wearing a mask to protect themselves and, more importantly, to protect their community. When you're talking, bits of saliva come out of your mouth. You don't even see them.
With evolving guidance on whether everyday Americans should cover their faces in public, and with no one wanting to take real masks out of the hands of medical professionals, it's time to get crafty.
You can get an old t-shirt and cut it. You can get, actually an old sheet is great because it's a nice fine weave cotton.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll walk you through all the do's and don'ts of DIY face coverings. Plus, Good Morning America has all the financial advice you need with Shark Tank's Mark Cuban and Barbara Corcoran live. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland.
YouTube has an answer to TikTok. The video sharing platform's come up with a new app called Shorts. Users will be able to post short clips and add soundtracks using YouTube's music catalog. Reports say Shorts is expected to debut by the end of the year.
A new study aims to use data from smart rings to identify coronavirus symptoms. The ring tracks changes in body temperature, as well as heart and respiratory rates. The information could be used to diagnose patients. More than 2,000 healthcare workers are participating in a 3-month study.
If the quarantine has you down, let Harry Potter come to the rescue. Ms. J.K. Rowling has launched an immersive new Hogwarts website, harrypotterathome.com. It's complete with interactive craft videos, quizzes, and puzzles for muggles.
Puzzles for muggles.
Just wanted to say it.
I know, it's fun to say muggles. Time now 6:26 and 64 degrees.
We are starting to hear more about symptoms people experience after being diagnosed with COVID-19. We'll learn how it's affecting people around the country. Coming up.
Paying respects to those for whom the battle against the coronavirus has been personal. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you what the city of San Antonio has planned.
We are learning more about the symptoms of coronavirus, and it's causing some health officials to be concerned. We'll find out what those symptoms are.
And outside with LICAM, rain and thunderstorms in the forecast, including a mention of the possibility of some springtime severe weather here in South Texas. We'll talk to Mike coming up. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday. It is April 2nd. Hello there.
Thanks for being with us this morning, everybody. How are the roadways looking, Nick?
Oh, they're looking good. No major accidents on the highways. Everything's cleared up, so that's good.
Thank you, Nick. Grab an umbrella and keep it handy for the next week. Maybe week. Yeah, I was going to say.
At least, and especially tomorrow. As you saw on the live cam, we've got a lot of clouds out there, and you step outside this morning, and it's a whole different situation than what we had yesterday with temperatures, with the humidity. We don't have any rain showing up yet. There may be a couple of sprinkles out there. We will see more showers developing. There have been a few that have worked their way across northern portions of the hill country. Temperatures are 10, 15 degrees above yesterday. Remember, it was 52 here in town, 46 at one point in up around Bernie. Now it's 61 and 64 in Hondo. The cool spot, if you will, is Los Maples at 59 degrees. We're 10 above normal right now. Oak is on the high side. It went up yesterday compared to the day before, of course, down from 2 days ago. Mold is going to be going up in the next couple of days, just given the fact we have so much moisture in the forecast. And as far as the rest of today, we keep a lot of clouds around. Again, temperatures are not going to warm up all that much. We make it to the low 70s later on today, and then we're going to see more showers developing. Tomorrow, though, that's when we have to look out for not only some potentially strong to severe storms, but also some heavy downpours. Talk more about that in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. So you had, I know last half hour, one accident. Is that still going on? Or
Just clear that up, Mike. So yeah, that's good news for everybody. All the accidents we've had, we only had one actually. It's cleared up now. So if you are on the way to work this morning, expect a smooth ride, and you're going to get to work fast because there's hardly any traffic out there. No accidents. Construction's cleared up. Look at these drive times. If you're on eastbound 151 to 1604 to 90, 9 minutes. And if you're on eastbound 90 to 1604 to I-35, 11 minutes. I mean, those are just great times there. All right, TransGuide. Look at this. 35 in Benz Engelman. Light to moderate traffic. Nothing too bad. 35 and 37. It's looking great as well. Nothing too bad there. We got 35 in Evans. That's looking good. And let's see what else we got here. 35 and 410 just south of there is looking splendid. So if you are on the way to work, expect a smooth commute. And please have a good morning. Mark Leslie, back to you.
Thank you, Officer Solis. The sound of cathedral bells will ring out downtown San Antonio this morning.
It's part of an effort to pay tribute to those who have lost the battle against the coronavirus, as well as those who are struggling.
Our Katrina Weber live downtown with details on all of that. As you mentioned earlier, Katrina, this also includes a moment of silence.
Well, that's right. That's the request from Mayor Rod Nierenberg. Now, this will come right after the bells here at the San Fernando Cathedral toll for 1 full minute. The mayor has requested this to all take place at 9:20 this morning. Although the bells will ring downtown, he wants the moment of silence to be citywide. This is in remembrance of those who died due to COVID-19 and for people who are sick from the virus. In Bexar County, that now includes 231 people who have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. We've had 9 deaths up to this point. Well, Comal County's numbers also have grown to 12 cases with 1 death. And for the first time, Kerr County is reporting a case, 1 person infected in its area. Again, the bells here at the cathedral are set to begin ringing at 9:20 this morning, and that will be followed by a moment of silence. Reporting live downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
A group of local firefighters can finally go back to work after being quarantined for 14 days. Members of the Chavano Park Fire Department traveled to Paraguay to help train local crews there. They say when they left, the CDC reported no cases in the South American country, and it was safe to travel. However, there are now dozens of cases, and many rules have changed in that time. To hear the full story, just go to KSAT.com.
6:34, there nearly 5,000 people have died from coronavirus, and about 215,000 have been infected here in the United States.
We're hearing more about how the symptoms of the virus can take a sudden and very serious turn. ABC's Kimberly Brooks has that story.
We already know it's a matter of life and death, but between those two is living life after being diagnosed with the coronavirus. At its best, no symptoms, but at its worst, cautionary tales of unexpected turns. CNN anchor Chris Cuomo, broadcasting from his basement, says he suffered extreme night sweats Tuesday, like he's never experienced before.
It was like somebody was beating me like a piñata.
For Julia Thaler in Yonkers, New York, it was manageable until day 8.
I spiked a fever of 102.7. Wow. And I started with the cough. and that triggered my asthma.
After self-isolating for 21 days and going to donate blood, she learned she still had the virus. Tom Bataccio took himself to an ER in Illinois twice, only to be sent home both times. Now, the father of 3 is hospitalized with pneumonia and congestive heart failure.
For me, it's having to trust God in this situation because I can't be there. And that is the struggle.
The virus proving no family is immune, even touching our ABC News family. Our Ginger Z tweeting Tuesday about body aches and a tight chest. And our George Stephanopoulos announcing from his home studio that his wife, actress Allie Wentworth, had symptoms. Allie later posting, "I've tested positive for the coronavirus. I've never been sicker. This is pure misery. #stay home." But with every positive test, there are so many survivors. This veteran from Oregon is celebrating his remarkable recovery from the virus, and he's 104 years old.
That was Kimberly Brooks reporting for ABC. Well, the demand for fuel quickly dropping due to the pandemic, and that's created an unexpected problem for oil companies. Oil producers worried that the world may be running out of places to store the ever-growing supply. According to Goldman Sachs, storage facilities, refineries, ships, and pipelines could eventually reach capacity by the end of this month.
The coronavirus has shut down the Grand Canyon. The National Park Service announced it was closing the park yesterday. They say a top Arizona health official recommended the closure. The park was already operating at a limited capacity because of the pandemic. This does not mean all national parks will be closed. The NPS says it's listening to state and local health officials when determining what to do with its parks.
Federal government says stores that sell guns and ammo are now considered essential services. That means building, selling, importing, and distributing guns, along with shooting ranges, are now listed as critical infrastructure. As the number of cases of COVID-19 goes up, gun sales have been on the rise, too.
Manufacturing activity is slowing across the country. In March, according to the Institute for Supply Management, new factory orders have fallen to an 11-year low, backing up views that the economy has slipped into a recession.
Well, first the MAX jet crisis and now the pandemic. Boeing is looking for new ways to conserve cash amid the shutdowns and is expected to start offering early retirement and buyout packages to workers. The Wall Street Journal says the announcement to employees could be as early as today. Boeing has about 160,000 workers.
The federal government has given phone companies a date to stop fraudulent calls. The Federal Communications Commission set the deadline of June 30th, 2021 to build the technology. Now, it's going to require carriers to verify phone numbers are real and to block illegal robocalls. Hallelujah! The FCC estimates scam robocalls cost more than $3 billion a year in wasted time.
And don't forget, KSAT Community ADL Challenge still going on. If you'd like to participate, just challenge a friend on social media to fundraise in place of giving to the organization's canceled annual fundraiser. To learn more about it, head to the KSAT Community page on KSAT.com. Right now it's 6:38, 64 degrees.
Many of us may not want to go to the grocery store right now, and we may have plenty of things in our homes that we can eat. After the break, we're going to show you how you can make your food last.
So whether you're practicing social distancing or working from home, you've probably caught yourself munching on all your snacks. Well, this morning we want to share some ways that you can make your food last longer. First, it's important to properly store your food, whether it's produce, meats, or dry foods. You'll want to keep them fresh. Foods like tomatoes, potatoes, bananas, lemons, and limes should be out of the fridge in a cool, dry place. When it comes to storing dry foods, make sure they're sealed properly. If not, they could become stale and you'll have to throw them out. As for meats and fish, store raw products separately from ready-to-eat food. Raw meat usually lasts a few days in the refrigerator but can last months if frozen. Just be sure to properly seal them in airtight containers or bags. Also, you'll want to plan your meals and snacks. Sticking to a schedule will prevent from eating when you're bored or stressed. So most importantly, there's no need to raid the grocery store. There's enough food for everyone, and the stores will remain open. We have an entire page of coronavirus coverage on our website. Just head to KSAT.com. Erica Fernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Right now, large gatherings are not allowed in most states due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Which means one Michigan couple needed to get creative for their wedding. The groom didn't want his bride to walk down the aisle without anyone in the pews, so he filled them up himself. Get this. He hired a local packing company to make cardboard cutouts to replace family members and to fill all the church pews. McGrim says it proves there is an upside even in this situation.
It's been great to see that. You know, you have the scary news, but then you're also getting some amazing news of some people that are just coming out of the woodwork to do really creative things to help out.
Couple won't be able to have a reception, so instead they'll have a home-cooked meal after the ceremony. I understand the packing company didn't charge them a dime.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
Yes, and if you are bored at home while social distancing or you're looking for a little extra cash, reviews.org might be able to help.
The company's offering people a year's worth of Disney Plus and a $200 Visa gift card. All you have to do is send an email. They're calling it the Disney Plus Dream Job. You just email giveaways@reviews.org with the subject Dream Job and tell them your name and favorite Disney movie. That's it.
All right. Well, the company says 10 winners will be chosen at random on April 10th.
Let's check traffic at 6:44.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Oh, well, things are looking good right now. Any accidents that we had, they're all cleared up. Traffic's looking great all around the city. A lot of green on the screens, which is good, especially if you are on your way to work right now. Look at these drive times here. If you're going eastbound from 1604 to Randolph Air Force Base, it's 26 minutes, and back from Randolph to Helotes is 28 minutes. So westbound that's really good times there. All right, let's take a look outside. 10 at the Y, looking great right now. Very light to moderate traffic. 10 at Callahan East, that's looking good as well. Let's see what else we have here. 37 and 410. Traffic's very, very moderate, light. And 281 in San Pedro, we had that construction earlier. Looks like it's all cleared up now and things are rolling.
What?
What?
You had a pretty smirk on your face.
Yeah, you do have a...
No, just
that
'cause I love this
picture
picture.
behind you is beautiful.
Yeah, look at this thing. This is absolutely fantastic.
We love Texas, don't we?
Yeah, just the contrast of colors, the gray of the road, the yellow stripe, and then, you know, with the blue bonnets on either side of the road.
Oh, it's so pretty out there in the hill country this time of year.
And hats off to the folks that painted the line of the road, because that thing is just straight as an arrow. Here's another angle of that.
Nice.
Very nice.
Beautiful day.
So pretty. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. That kind of takes your mind off of everything. We've got a lot of clouds around this morning. It is much, much milder than what it was yesterday by a good, say, 10, 15 degrees. There's nothing showing up on radar right now. There could be some mist out there, a couple of sprinkles, but nothing as far as detectable precipitation, detectable rain. 64 in town. We are about 10 to 15 degrees above where it was yesterday when we were in the low 50s and 40s, and the humidity is up, and the humidity is really going to go up. So a little more, you notice it a bit more this morning, but you'll really notice it by later on this afternoon. That's going to help to feed some showers. So we'll see showers developing throughout the day, throughout the morning, and also this afternoon. A couple of thunderstorms thrown in as well. And then notice how the dry air comes on in. There's a pretty decent front moving down here throughout the afternoon and evening tomorrow. As these two air masses clash, that's a classic situation, and that's why we are going to be seeing some strong, potentially severe storms tomorrow late afternoon and into the evening hours. Now, even though that front's moving on through, it's not going to clear things out like a lot of times fronts do, because we'll still have kind of a sort of an overrunning situation. More on that in a second, but we will have, again, some showers developing today. Even a couple of thunderstorms, some tomorrow morning, and then in the afternoon hours tomorrow, that's when things are really going to start to get going around here. Also, we will have the chance, like I said, for strong to severe storms. Slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center. It's kind of number 2 on the scale, if you will. High winds and hail are going to be the biggest threats. In a situation like this, you can't completely rule out a stray tornado. It's not very likely, though. As far as rain, and this is just one computer model, going through tomorrow evening. Yeah, there'll be some heavier pockets in portions of the hill country. And, 1 or 2 thunderstorms may dump a little bit more rain. But what we're looking at is then tomorrow night into Saturday. That's when we will see some potentially heavy rain around here. And this is just kind of painted in with the broad brush. There's going to be some local heavier amounts. So there could be tomorrow night into Saturday, a little bit of some flooding in areas and localized areas. Fairly good front. I mean, it's 6 degrees right now in Cutbank, 10 in Casper. Obviously, we're not going to get that cold, but this colder air will be moving on in here. And the reason why things aren't going to be clearing out is because we are still going to have the upper level winds coming in here basically from the southwest. So that's going to keep a lot of cloud cover, a lot of moisture aloft, and little disturbances will be moving on through here. And that's going to keep the rain chances around even on into the middle of next week. So we've been wanting rain. Looks like we're going to be getting some. Today, we will have some showers around, developing throughout the rest of the morning. 69 degrees today at noon and a high only 72. So down about 6 or so degrees from the past couple of days with more showers and a couple of thunderstorms. And then tomorrow, strong, potentially severe storms in the afternoon. And tomorrow night, we make it up to 78 degrees. Then that front moves on through here. And that's going to knock temperatures down for Saturday and Sunday. Low temperatures still stay very mild, well above normal, but it's the high temperatures that will stay down slightly. More showers around this weekend and even the first part of next week, but then back to the 80s.
Well, maybe Mother Nature's going to wash away here at the end of the oak season.
That would be nice, but then that's going to be replaced by mold. A lot of mold. So just get ready for that.
Mold is so fun, isn't it, Leslie?
Oh, yes, all these allergens. Yay.
Oak can go away.
I'm ready for the oak to go away as well.
Yeah, I'd love the mold to go away too in my house. Right now it is 6:49, 64 degrees.
Yeah, there's that too.
Buzzing, chirping, or ringing, a text message alert usually makes you head straight for your cell phone. Join us tomorrow on GMSA, where we see new research that indicates text messages might be an A+ way to keep parents engaged in their child's learning.
And taking you outside with Live Cam. Ready for the rain, everybody. It's coming.
Good morning. The very latest on the coronavirus pandemic. That's where we start here on GMA. The numbers are in. More than 200,000 cases reported here in the U.S. Hospitals feeling the crush. Now we've got new footage that's going to take us inside an emergency room in Queens, New York, showing how very overwhelmed they really are. We're going to hear from doctors, too, on the front lines this morning, and you'll see it all coming up on GMA.
The sounds of sorrow and struggle will ring out in downtown this morning. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. The bells here at the San Fernando Cathedral will toll in recognition of those who have fallen victim to the coronavirus. The bells are set to begin ringing at 9:20 this morning, and they will ring for 1 full minute straight. Mayor Ron Nierenberg also has called for a moment of silence at that time. It's to pay tribute to those who have died from COVID-19, as well as the people still struggling with it. In Bexar County, there are 231 people who've been diagnosed with the coronavirus and 9 who have died. Comal County has had 12 cases with 1 death. And for the first time, someone in Kerr County has tested positive. Now, all of them will be in mind as the bells begin to toll here at the cathedral. Again, that begins at 9:20 this morning. Reporting from downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. About 6 minutes till 7.
It's time to check on the roadways once again. It's been a pretty smooth commute today.
Yeah, definitely smooth, but we do have one accident. I just saw it right now. It's going to be 410 in San Pedro. On San Pedro, underneath 410, the bridge there going towards North Star Mall. Keep that in mind when you're heading that way. All right, also we have a disabled vehicle here, 35 at Evans. Looks like those are the southbound lanes of 35 at Evans. So keep that in mind. Slow your speeds if you're heading that way.
Lots of clouds, and it's very warm, very humid this morning, especially compared to yesterday. And we've got temperatures that are in the low to mid 60s right now, well above normal, a lot more humidity. There's nothing showing up on radar right now, but we will see some showers developing later on this morning as well as throughout the day. 69 degrees today at noon, 72 for a high temperature. So we'll be down somewhat compared to the past couple of days. And then tomorrow is the day we really have to kind of watch out. We're going to see a better chance for some rain. We will have showers and thunderstorms, potentially strong or severe storms in the afternoon and evening hours, and then some potentially heavy downpours tomorrow night into early Saturday. And we're going to keep rain chances really in through the first part of next week. Obviously, it won't be raining constantly, but we'll still have those showers around.
You know how we were all talking about Tiger King, and that's a great binge thing to watch if you're stuck inside with everyone and it's raining? A good family movie is I Still Believe.
Oh, okay.
And you have to buy it, but it's one of those new releases, early theatrical releases on Vudu.
Gotcha.
Good family movie.
Great recommendation.
Oh, it's a great one.
Invisible Man's a good one, too.
That's really good. That's scary. Yes. Thanks for being with us, everybody.
Yeah, everybody will see you at 9.